Hey, morning. How you doing, brother? Ah. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's August 16th today. I'm just rolling out of bed. It's about 9:40, and yeah, that was my campground right here last night. You can see it's a good spot. I'm about ready to tear down camp, but I'm gonna do a little bit of a live stream first. Planning on live streaming 10 o'clock, so I just wanted to roll out of bed real quick, guys. Say good morning. I'm gonna be hitting the road after the live stream and stuff, and yeah, just pedaling north, see how far the wind blows me today. And yeah, I slept good last night, and it was a beautiful morning, guys. This is a great way to wake up at the local fishing hole down here. Most of the night everybody was out here fishing and stuff like that, and you can see everybody's kind of coming in right now and starting to set up for the fishing this morning, which is awesome. Alright, guys, that's just a quick update. I'm gonna get ready for a live stream. I was just getting ready to leave here, and I realized they sell food right here. Someone's got a food bin set up. So before I go, I'm thinking I'm gonna just have breakfast right here. Yeah, still at the camp spot, guys. But yeah. Yeah, I looked out. They have some food right here. Hello. Yeah, that looks good, huh? Take this and bundle it. Perfect, I don't have to go anywhere. Looks Penang. Had to throw it together real quick. Noodles, vegetables, something like fishy, and a drink. 9 ringgit, guys. Great. What's awesome about that is I don't have to go anywhere now. So I have everything right here for 9 ringgits, which is awesome. I wasn't sure where I was going to go find some food at, so. Good. This is breakfast. I don't know what this is actually. It's got little seeds and stuff in it. It looks like a lemonade, but it's not. It's super good. But the spiciness of this with this is just a great combination. Well, anyway, I got my breakfast, guys. It's raining on me a little bit, but not bad. I just wanted to pull out my camera and film this because it's peaceful right now. I mean, it's like, it's warm, so it's hot. That's why I don't got my raincoat on, but it's got a nice little rain coming down, and there's no cars going by right now. I think this is the J86. And I'm going this way. I pulled over just to put my backpack in a plastic bag, but for me, I kind of enjoy it. So yeah, no, this is really nice amongst the, this is actually a pretty good ride. There's a few hills, but nothing like too bad where I had to get off my bicycle and push it. And traffic's good. You know, it's like, there's not much of a shoulder, but there's not really any traffic to worry about. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can see you. And this is just turning out to be a very, very, very pleasant ride. The clouds are keeping back the sun too, so it's not a scorcher. So anyway, guys, I just want to jump in and say I'm enjoying the ride. It's beautiful. Hey everyone, I'm just stopping, hydrating a little, still going through the, hear that? That's why I was just checking the weather. If I remember, I'll take a screenshot. I started hearing that and looking at the clouds coming in. So it looks like right now that's the thunderstorm coming in, but at 3 o'clock, which is in about 40 minutes, it looks 50% chance, but then 4 o'clock, 70% chance. Well, it's not really, and then it's just 50, 40, 40, all the way up till 6 o'clock. Yeah, so looks like there's going to be a little bit of weather here, which runs it all the way up to 6 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock it gets. But by that time, if I'm already soaked, I'm already soaked. But I got dry clothes in the bag, so I should be good. I'm planning on actually, camping again. So I don't know where I'm actually going to be going for the camping. I have not looked up anything. I'm just, like I said, I'm just seeing how far I can get. Wow, this just picked up. Obviously, those are all the palm, I guess you call this orchard, maybe? Palm, or in the United States, my grandparents had what's called an orchard farm, and they had all the fruits and stuff like that. They never actually sold it any, but they had enough to actually sell such stuff. Back in the days, you could have your own, like something that looks like this, right, alongside the street with something to weigh the fruit in, how much you basically want, and then a big old like mason jar of just money in it, and you made your own change and stuff like that. It went on an honor system, and that was something that you could actually do back in the days. So we had orange trees, cherry trees, mostly orange trees. California used to be all orange orchards. Strawberry, big old garden, a garden almost the size of a football field, but only a section of it being used. We had a pond with fish in it, which when you needed to fill up the pond, you diverted it off the creek. The creek would fill up the pond, and then you would drain it into the actual the garden area. So that was a way to put fresh water in, old water out to the garden and stuff like this. It was a beautiful piece of property, but thing is my grandparents ended up, my dad was so upset because he thought it was going to be one of those family homes. He actually helped build onto it because it was only two upper rooms originally, one huge one on one side, three, two smaller ones and one big one, all upstairs. The lower area was a living room, bathroom, kitchen, dining room, and then a basement. Really old house. Not historic, but made out of historic material. So what that means is, back in the days, you reused everything. So when a house was taken down, it was taken down carefully because all the lumber and even the nails would be re-straightened out and reused. This is where my grandparents came from. I remember my grandma had a big old coffee can of which was bacon grease, and you just kept pouring it in, and then you could fry up some biscuits or whatever else using that bacon grease, or throw it out once it got too big, sat around for too long, because it does go bad. Fatback. It's just it was a way of living, because my grandparents came through the Dust Bowl times. And the Dust Bowl, for the people too young to remember, is because the Texas area in the center of the country over farmed the land, where the topsoil just kept getting lighter and lighter and lighter and finer and finer and finer, until it became so fine that it just became particles that were constantly up in the air. And it just basically rendered the whole land useless in the middle. And so everybody moved out of that to the spots like California and stuff like this. And the Great Depression was, right around that era and stuff. So it was like hardships were, in my grandparents' days, they got hit with a lot. So the old thing, Grandma wears army boots. Well, yeah, they did, because the army boots were like the surplus, and so it was not... it was not a big, uncommon thing where the poor people were wearing around military, clothing because it was free, or they were able to get, So having something like that orchard, the orchard farm was, it was great. It was like growing up on that was just cool. It was so nice, but it was like so much fruit and stuff and abundance that my grandpa really couldn't keep up with it. Well, he tried, but he wasn't selling it. What do you do with all this fruit with it you don't even sell? We gave it to some of the Mormons and the churches that wanted to come by and get it, but they were like, oh, no, you can drop it off to us. And we're like, no, you can come get it if you want it. We're not going to keep making trips out to your church just to drop it off for, to feed the hungry. Just come out and get it, And it's funny, they didn't want to do that. So... I was growing up on them. My dad really thought he ended up, because my grandma was a nurse, right? She ended up taking care of people that were mentally challenged, right? And needed like a care home. So they built an additional. My dad was in construction, so was I with him as a child growing up. I was pushing a hot mop when I was old enough to hold one. I grew up in my diapers on a roof. You know, my dad used to take me to work because I was like his kid. And he started teaching me the trade. You know, first the tools, you're the gopher, you know, go for this and go for that. But then later on, you start learning to be the laborer and stuff like that. So it's a great trade to learn. You know, it's because it's a skill set you always bring with you. And even if you forget a lot of like the you know, the framing and stuff, is the finer points of actually how to build something, you still know how to swing a hammer. You know, you still have the ability to actually build something. You know, you might not build it to code, but you'll still build it to hold up, you know, through a wind storm. But yeah, no, it was nice. But they ended up selling that property. They got a lot of money. I mean, they didn't get a lot of money, but $700,000 back then was, you know, they were able to buy 2 properties in Arizona for that much. But the thing was land is worth so much more. Farmland is not. So they went in and they just bulldozed everything. They filled up the pond with the fish and stuff like this, and they just clear cut all the trees down. They tore down the old house, you know, because now it's actually like a 2-story, 7-room house because of the addition my dad put on for housing up to 4 people, because there was 4 extra bedrooms that he built. But I don't think my grandma took care of more than 3 people. I think that was her max. So she took but yeah, they just went in, bulldozed everything. It was such a sad, you know, you grow up and you remember with fond memories the orchard farm and being there during the summers, because your cousin would get dropped off, you know, from Arizona. He'd be dropped off over in California, and since you're his age, you go out and hang out with him for the summer. And how it was growing up is once the sun came up, you know, you come in, you get breakfast and stuff, but you're out of the house until the sun starts going down. You're not in the house. If you're in the house, you're doing chores, you know, and so to avoid the chores, you just stayed out all day long. You know, there was none of this playing the video games were not even a thing back then. You know, it was like sticks and rocks were our video game. We got to make what we could with the sticks and rocks. And, you know, I remember my brother and me actually dug a hole in the ground and just filled it up with water, just a mud hole. You know, that was our entertainment. We played it, you know, G.I. Joe's in the mud hole. And that was, yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry, that's a ramble. Just a memory that popped up. I didn't even mean to do that. I just wanted to say, looks like some weather's moving in, and I got sidetracked. Well, there's a split in the river, but the river always comes back together. So anyway, guys, that's it. There's my ramble for the day. Let's see how bad I went on time. 10 minutes. Okay. This is my surroundings, too. Ooh-wee. See a little covered area. Not bad. All right, I'm going to get going. Independence Day, guys. Malaysian Independence Day. Woohoo! Well, the rain's starting to come down. The rain's starting to come down, and it's getting later in the afternoon. I'm going down this way. I'm gonna have to. I found a campground. It's a ways out though, still. And hang on, let me my phone's in my pocket so it doesn't get wet. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock now. And the screen's wet, so it doesn't want to let me in. Come on. See, the campground is I figured it out earlier. It doesn't seem like it'll be something I can actually make in time before dark. So it's still 30 kilometers away. So yeah, I can't make 30 kilometers an hour and a half. No, 2 hours, yeah. So it'd be dark by the time I get there. I'm gonna go ahead and push along. If I can find like a bus stop, a covered bus stop, I've been seeing a lot of them. I might do that, pull up a squat in one of those, get my wet clothes off, change to dry, all that. But I'm gonna hit the road. I'm going that way. Well guys, this is home sweet home for the night. You got 3 of these little roadside stalls set up, obviously for selling something. I don't know what. The roofs on them are in good condition. Actually, the one at the end over there is still being built. Very good condition on the wood and stuff, which means the likelihood that these are still being used is a lot higher. This one, I could easily hang up my hammock between here, and it's a little too much of a stretch to get that one, but this one right here is the proper distance. It's not like I can't actually stretch them all the way across, but there's several of these along the way. Most of them are very bad condition. Roofs aren't good on them and stuff like that. And this one I have the option. I have the option of actually just pulling up a squat on the bench here, right? Which I'd be recessed back far enough where it actually is a little more private and stuff, and they wouldn't see me as good. And this is actually very wide, so like, you know, it's wide, like a bed wide. So, but I could. It depends on how bad the mosquitoes get. Right now, I'm burning these, and I do have moss block or whatever, moss block or whatever that. Sorry, I turned it off. That's all right. I needed to turn the facial tracking on. I was way out of frame. I got this stuff. It's like a moss block or something. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's the all natural stuff, but it kind of works. You know, it's I guess it's better than a kind word and a handshake with the mosquitoes, but not much more. But I do have these. So it depends on if they get really bad, I'll put up my hammock. But if not, I'm just going to go ahead and stay on the bench. This is off the ground, away from the critters and the critters and the snakes and all that stuff. Now, the monkeys can still get me at night, and I know there's monkeys out there because I hear them. But hopefully they just leave me be. And I don't trust the monkeys after I went into the temple that time. You guys remember that a little while back, and that monkey ripped open my my dry bag that I just bought because he thought the monkey must have thought something was in it. I didn't see the monkey do it, so all I saw was a lady and her kid like walking away from my bicycle real fast, and a bunch of stuff on the ground. I guess on the inside of the dry bag when I bought it, they had it stuffed with like papers and stuff to, you know, make it look inflated. But yeah, I just saw all that stuff around the ground, and I was like, and I looked at them, and I didn't see the monkey. I'm glad I didn't blame a lady and her kid for, you know, ripping open my dry bag. But that's what naturally goes through your head, you know, especially, you know, it's like, hey, they did it, you know, they were on the scene of the crime, you know. So anyway, yeah, this isn't the spot I'm going to sleep tonight, guys. Obviously, it's like right by the road, but right now it's 7 o'clock. And I got 20 kilometers to get to the campsite that I was thinking about going to, a primitive campsite. So no restrooms, no running water, no restroom, no running water. So that means bury your poo and bring your own water in. But it's a free campsite. So. Yeah, so this will be home sweet home for the night. The roof on this is good, and that's all that really matters. That way if it rains, I stay dry. And like I said, this is recessed back in so enough so when the traffic slows down, I should get a good night's sleep. I have my little small sleeping pad that I'll put underneath me, and I'm just gonna make some top ramen and relax, and hopefully the mosquitoes don't get too bad. All right, guys? Yeah. So home sweet home, and we'll continue this tomorrow. So I think this is day number 3 on the camping.